Hello everybody and welcome back to my studio and to another Inktober speed draw. I found this little illustration, this sketch that I did in my sketchbook. I did this sketch years ago and I thought it's perfect because I can't think of anything to do for Inktober today. And I traced it using a makeshift light box from my iPhone flashlight and a transparent art container. So it was a little wonky, but it did its job, so I'm not mad at it. So this piece, I went quite through some really emotional times with this piece. I like it now. I'm not really mad at it now, and I'm not mad at it at this stage that it's at right now. I was really liking where it was going, and then as soon as I started drawing the hair, getting the strands of hair in, I started to hate it. I really started to lose hope in this piece at this point, and I was really frustrated with the hair. I'd never drawn hair with my dip pen and ink, at least not like this, with, you know, long detailed strands, and I wanted there to be a lot of hair there because it was kind of, you know, a good portion of the picture, and I wanted the style to be more of that, like, realistic, illustrative look, that texture. So I attempted that, and I failed miserably. I kept running out of ink and having to dip my pen back in ink mid-strand, so there was a lot of, like, interruptions in the strands, and looks like the hair's all weird different lengths, but I went in and I tried to fix that later, which you'll see with an ink wash, and that did help a lot. But then I ran into this problem of doing way too much shading. So at this point it's okay, and then you see I just keep building and building and building up the shading with the cross-hatching, and it looks awful. I was so upset because I just kept thinking if I put more maybe it'll look better, and then that is just the worst thinking. Like, if you already have too much of something that you hate, why do you think having more of something that you hate will make it better? I wasn't thinking straight, and I was just, at this point, felt like it was kind of hopeless, so I was just trying to salvage what I could, and I kept making it worse. So see here, I'm just making all the shadows even darker, making it look even more dramatic with the shading, just making everything worse, giving her dramatic shading where, like, you shouldn't really have shadows or where it's not necessary. And man, I was so upset. But my solution to this was to add a really dark background, which by contrast made the shading on her face look less dramatic and less dark. It also placed it properly, because originally I had a white background and I wanted to keep that, and the really dramatic shading just didn't fit. But with the dark background, it works. So I salvaged it a little bit, and then I tried to salvage it more with highlighter, you see here, and it made it worse. So when I finished this piece, I hated it, and I was like, this is the worst thing I've done. I hate this, but I'm gonna post it anyway. And then I came back to it a couple hours later, and I looked at it on my Instagram, and I was like, actually, I don't hate this. It's not that bad. So I still don't think it's the best thing I've ever done, but if you're struggling with something and you think you hate it, and you've put a lot of work into it, just take a break from it. Give it some time and come back to it with fresh eyes, and maybe you'll find that it has more merit than you originally believed. That is the theme of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Good luck this Inktober, and as always, keep on creating.